I'm a lot under the weather. Hey guys, welcome to the midweek review for December the 10th, 2025. I'm like I was saying before, I'm a little under the weather, so if you can't hear me, if you guys have a hard time hearing me or uh I need to repeat something, just let me know. I'm a little hoarse, a little I can't hear. I'm congested. So just let me know. I can repeat or speak up if I need to. How's everybody the week been so far? If you have traded, if you haven't traded,
Hey Corey, hey everyone. I haven't been trading, which is why I'm so glad to be here with y'all tonight. And I hope you feel better. I hope you
okay.
feel better.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. What's been keeping you off the charts?
Multitasking. I'm just
Yeah,
time management. I don't even
yeah,
want to get started. Just time management. But the way my finances are right now, I have got to start the new year trading. Like it's a non-negotiable at this point. I got fees to pay. I just got to get back at it.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't put that pressure on yourself though, man. Um, just make small steps, like he was saying in the video, you know?
Yeah. This was really good too. This was Nightingale, right?
Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill. That was
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, actually, Tree shared this video, and I'm gonna drop it in the
Okay.
chat. Tree's been killing it, man. Trees has been
I'm
killing it, man.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I'm proud of you. I'm
I
proud of
missed
you.
the move today in a meeting. I was so mad because I was waiting on it.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I haven't been able to trade. I didn't catch it either. I
Keep
didn't
up
catch
the
it
good
either.
work, Trees.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you talk about just you in particular, trees? Like, what have you noticed that have you done anything different lately, or what's been the change that you have seen that you've been doing to get this big improvement that you've been making?
I think the biggest one is just being patient with the move.
Uh,
That's probably my biggest one. Because sometimes before I used to just try to force something. Like I miss a move, right? Like today, prime example, I missed the move, but tomorrow I go try to force something and make something happen versus just waiting for the next setup. I I
yeah.
I think that's my biggest one. It's just waiting for the move, being
Is it
patient.
like what's making you more? Yes, I was about to ask you. What's making you more patient with it now versus before?
The mindset,
Mm,
mindset. I've been every day. I'm listening to something positive, and then just jumping on these calls and watching these videos that you put out on YouTube and posted in Facebook, and just going back and we watching those and just looking at what you're seeing. And definitely them fair value gaps has been very helpful to me.
mm, mm.
Yeah. I
Okay.
say those are just the biggest things, just being patient, just putting positivity on my mind. Because there's gonna be moments where you get stressed. And if I'm stressed or got a lot going on at work, I don't trade.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't trade at all.
I think another thing I noticed about you now, right? You looking more at the bigger picture too.
Oh yes, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can tell that too. Like you not just like going out there and just like trying to throw a whole horse at the table, you know what I mean? Throw the whole cow. You just taking a piece of it and doing what you gotta do, get in, do whatever you need to do, and get out.
Yeah, yeah.
Ask a question.
Yeah.
Trees, what time of the day do you trade? Like, or what time is your favorite, if you have one?
Well, I just been trading the New York session.
Okay.
I don't trade any other time frame. I do work my 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a crazy day while I'm working, I don't trade. I just leave it alone. But if it's a day, okay, I can watch the charts. My manager ain't gonna come to my desk too much, or I'm at working at home. That's when I trade.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mess with any other time zone
Okay.
because I'm trading the either um with a micro. I always say it, think I might be saying it wrong. Macro or micro? Which one is smaller?
The micro.
Micro.
Micro. Okay. Don't laugh at me, y'all.
It's okay.
Please,
Oh,
no one's gonna laugh at you here.
I've been trading. I trade that. One because I don't want to put too much on because I feel like I'm still kind of getting comfortable with it, right? So I don't want to put too much on, and then I lose all my money that I just made. So I've been sticking with that, and yeah, just trading during the New York session. Um, I hated I missed that move today. I had a meeting, and I was like, oh, I was waiting for it all day.
We knew it was gonna come, but I
Yeah,
it's all right. We know we'll get something else.
we'll get something else.
Yeah, we'll get something else. And I hope we get some direction, some smooth direction out of this though. That's about the biggest thing that I'm looking for at this point. So
Yeah.
don't worry. Don't worry. You know we gonna find something.
Yeah, and I really appreciate Corey. It's just you being patient with us. You get on these sessions. I can't thank you enough, bro. Like it's just really you opening my eyes to a lot, and I just can't thank you enough. And I really appreciate it. I probably said it
He's
being
the
like a dead
best.
horse, but I'm gonna keep thanking you.
Yeah.
You know we gonna rock. We gonna rock.
Even tonight, being under the weather, I'm grateful. Thank you.
You know where I'm at. If I can't get on, I can't get on. I tried to get on Sunday, but I got stuck in travel, and then the it was just a long, long day. So I couldn't. And then the next day, uh, because I couldn't travel Sunday, my flight got canceled, and ended up flying out Monday, and I didn't get in till late. So I just I couldn't put it up there. So and by the time I was ready to put the setups up, it had already moved out of what I was looking for. So I just left it alone and just we can do it today.
I
So
already added the other classes to my calendar, so I won't miss them anymore. That's for sure.
yeah, we just Sunday and Wednesday for now. Um, I would love to go back to do some more live trading, but I just don't have it the time right now.
Yeah, because you're working a 9 to 5 too. I get it. I totally get
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Um,
but
and I feel like I need to go back like old school, although it's not really old school. But once I get settled, is it all right if I start sending you like my charts to look at again?
put it in the group.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just put it in the group because if I don't know it, and sometimes will respond, sometimes Teresa will respond, sometimes somebody else, and then if I get to it, I'll
Okay.
respond too.
Okay. I would
So,
really appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. I would love for y'all to be more active in there. That's one of my dreams is just to have a very active group, but I understand that's not for everybody, but
No, I really miss, oh God, I really miss being active. And I miss being active because it helped me accountable.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
I miss that. And I have to be honest, Corey, I haven't been able to watch a lot of the videos and stuff because I don't know where to find them.
So, oh, sorry. The best way to find them, to be honest, is logging in from your computer because it's just easier to get to stuff. But you can get to this from your phone as well, but because all the videos I pin them in the featured section. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can just see from the beginning that the videos are right here. And then the setups that I put in. So these are the setups for that particular day for futures.
Mm-hmm.
And again, another video, future setups, another video, future setups. So I usually pin these to the feature. And if you come to the group from the phone or from the website, you can see it at the top of the screen. If I got any option plays, I'll put them here as well.
I see it now. I see it now.
And then
Can't believe I didn't see it before. I see it now.
and if you still can't find it, if you go under guide and then you look for weekly analysis by me or in Shanika, I just put them in here and or I put them in here, the daily outlook. And then some other things that, if you want to find all of the featured stuff, you can just click on this little feature and you can see all the stuff.
I didn't go over there.
So,
Thank you so much.
yeah. Some other things over here, like that you might want to know too. Any books that I have, I'll drop them in here. So if you want to get any of these books that I've added in here,
Sure
it's been a
do.
while.
Okay.
It's been a while that since I added them any, but these are the ones that I have in here.
Okay.
Then any like images or stuff, like videos that I might have posted, some charts and stuff like that. That's in here too for under media. And then the links to all of the sessions, you can go into events and find it here. So it's pretty easy to get to, And then if you can't find any of that, my YouTube page is my YouTube page will have all the links for all the other videos. I did change my name on here, but this is it. And then
Okay.
all of the videos will be under here.
Yeah, I legit didn't go through the page on Facebook like I should, which is why I couldn't find anything. That's on me. But thank you.
Oh, no problem. No problem. So all of the videos, and then another thing is all the videos that I was not making public, they all public now. So you can go through and
When
find
your kid is hurt.
Okay.
you can go through and find like a bunch of the old videos that I posted, a bunch of old sessions, any ones that I think that can like stand out.
Mm-hmm.
I probably put them in a playlist or something like that. So um over here, um my own playlist is this one. I don't know which ones y'all see the review, but I'm a probably um I'm gonna end up putting out like not a course, but like a mini little course, just so y'all can understand like exactly how I trade. And then I'm gonna put it over here. I've been working on it, but I ain't been like actually working hard on it. I've just been trying to like every now and then record something. And then I'm gonna put it out over here too.
Got you. Okay.
So you kind of know like my thought process and everything. So what up, Jason? What's going on, man? I'm glad
Hey,
you got on.
Jason.
I don't know if you can hear, but if you can,
No, I can hear. Sorry, new computer. I was trying to find the microphone button. What's going on, guys?
yeah, I appreciate you getting on, brother.
Hey.
How's everyone?
All right. Long time no talk to.
Yeah, I've been hiding.
Same. Same.
Okay. Well, on that note, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get on this chart. We're gonna start with let's look at what happened today. Um, we did get our uh 25 basis point cut, so the interest rate now is down to 3.75. That again, as we discussed previously, that will decrease the borrowing requirements for all loans or borrowing or credit. So that means that the interest rate for your home loan, car loans, uh, the requirements that you need, like the score that you need, those things will go down, and it'll be a lot easier for you to get those like high-end credit cards, those different like Klarma and those kind of companies that let you buy now, pay later. Those that may not approve you before, it'll be easier for you to get that kind of stuff, and it is in line with the holiday spending, which that makes sense for them to do that right now this time of the year, and in order to entice more people to spend over the holiday, and you can see that we had gotten up to pretty much 90% probability that we get that 25% base cut. This is the Fed CME Fed rate tool. The next rate cut, they mentioned on the call with Powell, is that they do expect slowing. Even though we got the rate cut, they do expect some to see some slowing. So uh, it we'll have to kind of monitor this over the next couple of weeks as we get into that January 28th date. So that's when they're going to do the next possible rate cut. The one big thing that we'll need to kind of watch for is really watch how the retail spending and travel spending goes this year. That's like a first sign of like how we did for this Q4. Q3 in retail saw mostly improvements in online sales and a decrease in the in-store sales. So uh, definitely something to keep an eye on going into Q1 and how that plays out. So what do we have for the rest of the week? What do we got the rest of the week? So we had our interest rate. That's the biggest thing. It was a positive reaction. So once we get on the chart, I'll show you where I'm thinking we should be moving to. We got unemployment claims tomorrow at 8:30. That's gonna be a big number to watch out for. This is probably gonna be the previous was 191 with the forecast. The last time was to be 219. So that was actually a good sign that we didn't get in as much in unemployment claims. But to be honest, the unemployment claim only counts the new and recurring claims. It doesn't count those people that have phased out of the unemployment. So if you've claimed all your months, they're not counting this anymore. And if you've already gone through your whole period, I think it's 6 months of where you can get unemployment and you still haven't found a job, you actually don't get considered in this number. So the unemployment rate that they're using to qualify this this information is a little skewed. So if we do get a beat or a forecast that's less than expected, take that with a grain of salt and only look at it from a economic data perspective. Don't look at it as the telling of what the actual economy and the market is doing. So Friday we have our GDP, but that's uh that's not for us. I'm sorry. So we don't really have any news on Friday. Let me just double check if we got any big earnings. I don't think so. So, so the end of the week. No, no big earnings. We got Lululemon, Costco. Those are some ones to consider, but nothing that's just really going to move the market. So yeah, Friday will probably be some type of breaking news details that will probably move the market. Still nothing new on the options front. The last play we took, that ended up being taking a little loss on that, but we okay with that because we made enough to cover that on our Nvidia setup. This was the last play that I looked at, and I didn't get a chance to get into this, but this CDE is a mining company that I was looking at. I'm still in Neo. Neo ain't playing out the way I want it to, but it's still holding. So I'll probably look to add on to this. Um, Probably look to add on to this for some leaps as we get closer to the next earnings because this doesn't expire until May. So we're in the leaps on this one. So I don't have any setups to give out for option plays. I think I might be done for options for the rest of this year. I kind of want to get a little more momentum um, on individual stocks to come back into the market, and I don't want to mess with the bigger names right now. The only one that I'm really thinking I might get a setup on is maybe uh, a short term to midterm Nvidia play, since we still hanging out down around this 183. Uh, if we start to see us hold down here at this 176 to 170 range, if we drop back down there and hold, I may take a shot at this because I still want to see if we're gonna challenge these 212 area again. But that's for a later setup. I don't want to put none details out about that right now. But all right, so let's go to dollar. So dollar, we see we took liquidity from the previous week low from this area. We took all the liquidity here. And then we also took the liquidity from this previous week low. We actually just swept that. There's an order block that I've been looking for us to come down into. And then this price gap right here is also another area that I'm looking for us to come on into. And let me take out the drawings off real quick and go to the daily. So, sorry. So we had mentioned before last week that these lows would be a target that we likely go into. And we took those lows out and we even traded back into this fair value gap and this gap right here and sold off from there. So not only did we take this liquidity, we set liquidity here and we took liquidity here. So where are we likely to go now? On the weekly, right? Since we took all this liquidity, this order block on the weekly is probably where we're going to be headed to. And I think I got it on, no, I got another one here. This order block from the weekly is our next pretty much major point of interest right here that we probably need to consider. So we're going to go ahead and add this weekly. Let's check the monthly real quick, see if anything changed. Yeah, nothing. That's still lining up too. So this weekly order block right here, the last down candle before we made this move right here. There's also a couple of little areas that I'm looking at too, just to keep an eyeball on. This got inverted right here, and we have used it, but it may be something we might look into again. I don't think we need to because we got some stuff that's already came to fruition. And then if you look at the daily, there's that same low. This gap is inside of that this daily gap is inside of that weekly fair value, that weekly order block. So we could come as low as down into this 97.48 area. You'll notice one thing for Jason and Elena is one thing I implemented into my strategy, which oops, how do I get back to it? Escape. What did I just do? What the heck did I just do? Hold on. Okay. Um, and I'm gonna repeat this and beat this in the ground with Treese because she know this already, but I'm gonna beat it in the ground because I want this to be like a new focus. But this will be like a teaching break real quick. And you know what I'm about to talk about, right, Treese?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
sorry. I was talking to Ariel.
Oh, hey, Ari.
And she was talking some, hey, Corey. I said, he
Hey,
can't hear
hey.
you. I'm on mute.
Hey, Ari.
He can't hear you.
So, uh, one thing that I'm always looking for, right, is once we sweep liquidity, right, there should be an order block, and that order block should have a fair value gap inside of it. So if I'm bearish, I'm sorry, if I'm bullish on this, and I see that we've swept liquidity, and I see that we have a fair value gap through some area of liquidity, like in this case, we're coming to a bullish something. We swept liquidity below these lows right here. And we swept liquidity below these lows. And when we swept the liquidity, we created an order block that hasn't actually been confirmed yet. We just see a strong bearish move to the downside. We haven't confirmed that it's an order block. But if you see that we get gaps through this and we see we get a fair value gap through this, I'm looking for that fair value gap inside of this potential order block to get inverted. That's kind of the setup that I'm going to be looking for down below this area right here. So this is our liquidity that got swept right here. You can see it over here. We had liquidity here, here, and a couple areas over here, and even here. And when we swept that, this candle left this down series of candles right here. And when it left that, this fair value gap to the downside, and you can pretty much combine these two. When it when it swept this liquidity, it left this fair value gap. And if we were still going to be bearish, this should have sold off from here, and it didn't. This is pointing out the primary area where you're going to find the strongest and most valid buy. So once you see that, and you see that it gets traded through over here on this series of candles right here, you should see another fair value gap to the upside. That's right here. And where those two overlap, which is basically, let me take this. So the fair value gap to the downside is here. The fair value gap to the upside is here. Right? And you know there's three levels inside of that fair value gap, high, middle, and low. And where those two overlap is the most liquid area, right? So this area right here is my most liquid area. So this is where I'm going to put my pending order somewhere inside here in order to get my setup. So from a higher time frame setup, there's a potential that this is likely the area we want to see price come down to. And we could even see some here as well, because there's another fair value gap. We've already used it once, and there is overlap near the bottom that lines up with why we tick down in here. So that's another reason why I'm potentially looking at as sweeping this here. We already swept that, and maybe coming down into this gap and get a bounce here. Or at the worst case, sweep down into here and try to push up from here. And if we can't push up, we sell off inside of this area that we creating right now from here. And then we look to target these lows over here. So that's like a higher time frame outlook, right? But for what we're going to be looking for the rest of this week, we got our weekly fair value gap right here. I mean, weekly order block, sorry. And just below that, we got that little price gap. So if we move to the downside from where we closed yesterday, that gives us our 0 to 1 move right here. And we try to possibly bounce off of this daily order block, right? Or this 4 hour. Let me put that on there. That 4 hour order block is coming from here, right here. And it's pretty much overlapping with that weekly. So it makes sense for it to come down, or even come down into this. And then we could also see off the 0 to 1 move, we could bounce. Or if we do a 2 to 3 move where we push down, trade into this, and then retrace, then we sell off, we could see the bounce near the weekly. So that's what I'll look for from the downside. If we don't get these two buys, right? That'll be what I'll be looking for. From a bullish standpoint, that one we got to take it a little consideration because we've already just created a 4 hour fair value gap, and we could create another one right here. So if we are going to push up, we're going to have to trade through all that. So the probability becomes lower that we're going to be able to push up and trade through all that to get back to this weekly area. So for right now, I'm going to stay bearish on dollar because of that. Because if we are going to push up, That means we got to trade through this fresh engulfing candle, these two right here. And the probability of us doing that right now when we just took loads out isn't high because we would need to trade down in one of these areas to get the liquidity that we would need in order to push up higher. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for a dollar. And since that's what we looking for on dollar on this, that means that we're gonna be looking for buys on gold. So let me drop this chart. We are gonna be looking for our downside move on dollar. And does that make sense? Especially for you, Elaine, and
Yeah, it's always been a terminology for me though that's been throwing me off, but I get it. I
okay,
get what you're saying.
right. What in particular about the terminology?
So I'm still calling things by wicks and retracement. So I'm looking at the terminology on your charts, and I know it's not a foreign concept, but I'm still trying to remember how to read your charts. I saw something the IVMF.
Inverted fair value gap.
Yeah, I know what the fair value gap is, so I see that, and like even your 4170.5 NDOG.
New day opening gap.
Yeah, so I think that once I make myself more familiar with your charts and understand your abbreviations, I'll be able to grasp it more. I mean, that's not what I mean. I'll get it. I just need to spend more time on the charts, long story short. That's all.
Okay.
I see the targets and I see where I think it's going to go. I just need to practice marking up my charts more and identifying what I see. And that's always been a challenge for me.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
That's why I was asking if I could just post my charts
Okay.
so you can tell me if what I see is accurate.
Okay. And that's what I was saying about this. I'm gonna do a little like basic from to advanced little kind of class, whatever that I've been working on. And
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff I'm gonna talk about, like terminology that I use and like the main setups that I trade. That's all it's gonna be. And
And
like,
your terminology, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's not even that it's that deep. It's just that I've been so out of touch.
yeah, but yeah, definitely. It's not just you. It's other people too.
But
So
I love your charts and the way you set it up. Like I don't ever want I wouldn't want you to change a thing. I just need to get it together.
that ain't gonna happen.
I know that's right.
You don't have to worry.
I know that's right.
You don't have to worry
I
about that part.
I know that's right. And don't ever. I'm gonna get it. That's all. I just need to get it.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that part. Okay, so you can already kind of see
Mhm.
where on gold we already bullish. Um, and we got the move today this afternoon. So we do have a new fair value gap that's on the 1 hour, but let's look at the daily chart right quick. So we got a gap. We just took out a high, and these highs are the closest highs in reach. For us to trade to the downside would be a short-term move, which is okay, if you do see the market retracing to the downside, but just understand right now the momentum has pushed us to the upside, right? And if you want to look at this, you can look at this as a daily price gap where got a gap here to here from the daily. So this our new day opening price gap right here. And it's bullish. So I'm gonna change the color of this. And we just open up on the day. That's why it's called new day opening gap. And what you'll notice with this gap is it's overlapping this daily fair value gap that we already been in right here. And um it came on news. So we're very strong to the upside on this move right here. So if we do see that we get a retracement with you taking a sell, you need to understand that this move wasn't just like just a low liquidity move. This is a high liquidity move that pushes us to the upside. So if we do take a sell, you need to take your money and get out. That's basically what it is, you know? Like take your money, get on up out of there because somebody is actually coming in to buy this at some point. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but inside of this range, somebody probably coming in there to buy this up. So if you take a sell, just know, take your money, you know? But you need to actually be looking for the buy because that's what the actual setup is based off of. You don't look for sales unless you get underneath this area. If you trade outside of this new week opening gap and below this, even again below the daily fair value gap, then that's when you start really, really looking for longer sales. But if you don't get that, don't mess with it, you know? If you get it, if you get the sell, take the sell, take your money. Because right now they pushing this up to take these highs out. So that's how I want you to interpret that. This market is going to the upside for now, right? And we in the process of balancing out this big daily fair value gap that we in right here. We just traded through the high of this. So we at a point where we can go ahead and start looking for this to be inverted. And then that's how we know this will be a bullish area. So even though we seeing price start to reject, if we were to at the moment to take these as a sell, that's okay. But just know, like, especially once we get around the midpoint, like this 42, 47 area, that we probably need to be looking for them to consider reversing it. So what that's going to look like is when we closed that yesterday, our 0 to 1 to the downside should at worst case come down to maybe the weekly opening, right? About the weekly opening. If we do continue to sell to the downside and we get this 1 to 2 move right here, and we do consider this to the downside, we shouldn't be passing this midway point. Worst case, we get into this upper quadrant right here. And then a 2 to 3 move should take us outside of this to take this low. And then the 2 to 3 move should at least get us down here to try to challenge this low if we do that, right? And if that's the case, a 3 to 4 move should be a retracement, and we should have a fair value gap inside of here, this 2 to 3 move. And then that should roughly be around the low of this area where we should get our 4 to 5 move if we gonna come outside of this. And if we do come outside of this for a 4 to 5 move, we should take this low that we just made right here, and this low, and this low, and this low. And then we should start considering this new week opening gap that we traded into as a target. Okay? That's what the downside looked like. That's all that telling me that if we do trade this to the downside, That means we have traded through this new week opening gap. And then that's going to be where we get our main sales from over here to take us to take this low and these lows over here, right? And then we trade into this gap right here, right? If this does happen, the 0 to 1 move, you also need to consider that we could be bouncing from there as well. So anywhere inside this 0 to 1 move, we could be bouncing. Whereas we could be bouncing around this midway point right here, this the 42, 47.6, or we could be bouncing near the low at 42.36.7, right? And even worst case scenario down here near the weekly opening. So, and if we do, my target is this high first, this high here, this high here, and then into the daily order block. Same thing over here. If we get this 2 to 3 move right here, and we decide we want to hold, I'm going to be looking at the same thing, right? Same high, same high, same high, and we come into this daily order block, right? The only difference with this is if we come down to this point and we do get this 3-4 bounce, we'll probably get another setup inside of this gap again. So if you don't get this setup and it comes down here and you start to see it push up and you don't trust that we gonna hold to go higher, if you see us start to hold inside of this again, that's when you can look for the next setup inside of here to take it from here. If you can't get it from down here, right? And that's for the downside move, right? If we get an upside move like we starting to right now, that upside move actually I would prefer to see it actually do this 0 to 1 move, right? I would actually prefer to see it do the 0 to 1, where we do trade down, but we don't go as low, right? Let me get rid of this. So I'm actually okay with the way that we opening up right now. So since we already got some information about how we opening, we come in to make our 0 to 1 move here. Then this 1 to 2 move actually comes down inside of this new week opening gap. And we try to come down to sell off, but we hold in here. So where we made this high, I'm actually looking for this to make my 1 to 2 move for the retracement. And then we can make our 2 to 3 move to take out this high. And then we should get another fair value gap through this high on the 2 to 3 leg where we hold inside of here. And then this 3-4 move gives us a new setup near this high inside of a fair value gap to the upside. And then we come ahead and trade up higher to make our 4-5 move up here. Okay. So basically, if you, again, like I know you guys haven't been on my session in a while, so some of this might be new, but what my expectation is, anytime we take out a high, I expect for the move that takes out the high to create a fair value gap inside of this leg. And inside of that leg, if I get the fair value gap, it should come with a setup inside of that fair value gap. And that's where I want to look to take my trade from, right? You can see a lot of examples of this, right? You can see, this low was made right here. We took out a high. On the lower time frame, there's a fair value gap inside of here. We took out a high. On the lower time frame, there's a fair value gap inside here. Repeated itself. We took out this high. There's another fair value gap in this leg right here. We try to use that. We use that to go higher. So every time we take out a high in the direction that we wanted to go in, this is a fair value gap. Took out this high. They used it right here. They used it again over here. They use it again over here. So that's the trade that I'm looking for right there to take out that the next high that we have. And if we use this fair value gap right here, when we like we said, we took out this high with this fair value gap, they immediately came back in and used it right here. They made a new high. So once I get into the trade over here, that's coming back into the fair value gap. My goal is from this entry over here is to take out the last high, which for now is this high. If I had been in this trade down here, I take out the high right here. If I'm really, really aiming, I'm actually looking for this high, but we don't get that, right? But at least I took out this high. Then there's another little short-term high here that would have got taken out over here. So if I had to re-enter this trade over here somewhere, I would have had justifiable cause to take out this high, and this high, right? So that's the kind of the concept that I'm gonna look for over on this trade on gold. So that makes sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna look for a similar setup on gold as this. Right now, we've already made our 1-0-1 move. Now I'm gonna look for this 1-2 move to retrace. And there's our fair value gap through this high that we just made. And mainly I'm looking at this area right here. That's gonna be what I'm looking for a gold setup for the rest of this week. Ain't- So mainly looking for our our bullish move to do our 1-2 retracement into the new week, new day opening gap. And then I'll be looking for the 2, and then the 2-3 move should give a buy setup. I didn't drop the last chart in the chat, so I'll fix that. This goal, sorry about that. I'm trying to hold the coughs in, but it ain't working.
Don't do that. Go ahead and cough if you have to.
It ain't working that good, but
Trying to
here's the
get out.
dollar. Here is dollar. Okay. So now we gonna go over the Dow. I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit. So Dow, we got we've been consolidating throughout the past week, this pretty much this whole month into like starting like end of November into this, and we finally took out a couple highs today. Took out yesterday high. We took out the day before high, and we just tapped into this high from Friday. That's the previous week high, right? And the one thing to notice about this chart is it's the closest to taking out the all-time high. This was the closest to taking out all-time high. So we got to watch Dow in particular, even if you don't trade it, you need to be watching it because it's the first one that's probably going to take out an all-time high. And that's what I believe the expectation for the rest of them will be. But once we see that Dow does it, that should give us the momentum we need for the rest of them to take out its all-time highs as well. And just like we mentioned before, when we take out the highs, we need to see a fair value gap, and we definitely got one today. We took out this high, took out this high, we took out this high. There's your fair value gap. We should be coming back into this at some point. And in particular, we have inversion right here. We have a bearish fair value gap that should have sold if we were bearish. We came into it right here. We tried to sell. That's what this candle represents. And we were not able to do so. And instead, it used that area where people were trying to sell, it used it to buy, right? And that means that we should probably get a deep run into this area at probable, the most probable area. I'll show you what that looks like. That's our inverted fair value gap. It was inverted once we traded above it and through it. And this fair value gap is inside of a series of down candles that made our order block. You can see it better here on the 4-hour. That's our order block right here. Series of down candles before the up move, right? Okay. And then on the 1-hour, you can see that this particular area right here is overlapped by this bullish fair value gap right here. And where they overlap is basically near the low of the bullish fair value gap, right? So once we draw this on, going into the rest of the week, this is our 1-hour fair value gap. A 1-hour fair value gap. And then our overlap happens near the low, right? So there is a chance that we get a deeper retracement than maybe we might have been expecting, right? So this is a close on yesterday, right? If we get a 0 to 1 move to the downside, worst case scenario, let's say we come down into where we got the overlap. The overlap is here, right around 47 891 to 47 858. But if we get inside this right around 47 917 down to about 47 858, I'll be okay with looking at, how we respond to that area. Because I do expect us, if we drop down into this area, hold somewhere in between here. Worst case scenario, we come down to the monthly. And then this 0 to 1 move takes us down here. But then we get a 1 to 2 move to retrace. Now, this retracement could be the start of our next leg up because this is okay for us to move from here. And it's going to look similar to what we've been seeing over here. So if we come down into this on this 0 to 1 move, our 1 to 2 move could be our move up, right? But it could also be our leg to the downside to get our 2-3 pushed to the downside if we turn bearish. Sorry. If that's the case, we'll see a bearish fair value gap inside of this 0 to 1 move that we could take this 2 to 3 move off of. But I'm not really probable on this because I think we actually gonna still go ahead and take this all-time high out, right? But that we got to cover all scenarios, so that'll be what I look for, right? Then if we get this 2 to 3 move to the downside, that means we taking out this liquidity. You can see right below us, there's an order block right here. It's on the 4 hour and it's on the 1 hour. But in particular, there's an inverted fair value gap right here that sits right near where we are expecting our 2 to 3 to stop. So that means we take this liquidity, but we don't take this. And if we do take this liquidity, I'm okay with that because we still have some bullish points of interest right below us that, hey, we might not get our low here. We could come all the way down here, but I would still be comfortable with a 2 to 3 move anywhere from down here. But I think we hold right around here inside of this area right here. So and then if we do continue to go lower, that means we get a 3-4 retracement after we take this liquidity, which is probable. And that could also be a move to the upside. But if we get that move, that means that this move we may not catch initially. We should get another move inside of this 1 hour fair value gap to take us higher, right? So that'll be what we need to look out for the move to the downside. The move to the upside should be similar to our goal setup actually. If we do or we don't get our 0 to 1 move to the upside, we go ahead and go. But I think we still need to come down into this in this gap. And if we do come into the gap without this, which is looking like we about to do now, because we don't necessarily need this 0 to 1 move here because we could be making our 0 to 1 move here. And if we just go ahead and just retrace down into this, we get a bounce from inside here. We can take a 2 to 3 bounce to the upside here. And if we do, then we go ahead and take out this high. Then that look like this. And main target after we take out the all-time high, I'll be looking for is 49,000 flat. That's the next big number above this high. 49,000 flat. Although we could go higher. Although we could go higher. So that's how I'm looking at it on Dow. It's going to actually be a similar look on ES and NQ, but they aren't close enough to their all-time high. ES is the one that's close. The next would be the next one. And then NASDAQ would be last. So if you're wondering how it's looking, that's what we'll be kind of looking for. It should be Dow first, should be S&P next, and then it should be NASDAQ later on. So we looking for the downside 0 to 1 move. Into this 1 hour fair value gap. Near the middle to low and bounce from there. That's the main move, but we could get some other type of look from that, but that's the main thing. So this Dow. And now NASDAQ, again, looking similar, but a little couple differences. So we've been pushing higher on Dow than we've been pushing up higher on NASDAQ, but still like in a big range though, right? So you can see we traded through this fair value gap right here. We took out this high and we just still haven't made it quite into this daily. I think it's a daily fair value gap to the downside. So that's still something we need to consider. So he'll definitely be going into this for sure. And we'll have to like see how we want to deal with that. Let me see. Maybe it's 342. Okay. So we just missed it today, actually. And you can already see he's starting to retrace just like on we actually retracing harder on NASDAQ than we are on Dow, which is interesting. Let me look at Dow one more time. Yeah, so you can notice some side by side. This retracement that Dow's doing is definitely not as deep as NASDAQ is doing. So we already inside of the fair value gap on the 1 hour, deep into it. So let's move some of this stuff. So with that being said, you can already see that from where we close, we already inside of our 0 to 1 move right now. And if that 0 to 1 move is or isn't gonna hold, we're not sure yet. But worst case scenario, the 0 to 1 comes down and take out this low, and we try to bounce off of this monthly. This daily fair value gap right here, this got inverted. So now this is a bullish potential area. So we can look at this a little different now and go ahead and extend this out. Now this is a neutral area and probably an area that we are going to actually be looking to buy from. So if we get into this area, just know that yes, it was a selling area, but they didn't use it to sell. They tried to, and then they traded through it. So if we get down here, could definitely see buys near this area. Worst case scenario, we dip out of it a little bit, but preferably come inside of here and see some buys from this area, right? Similar look. We can already kind of see we don't have the means to get this upside move from where we close, right? But what I'll say about this move is let's look at this from a different perspective. If we do get this low, this the last low we made right here. This the last high, right? That's our 0 to 1 move right there, right? Now, this 1 to 2 move should hold inside of here somewhere. And if it does, our our 1 to 2 move hold somewhere inside of here, then we can take our buy from inside of this area right here. And then we can do a 2 to 3 buy from here. And then we look to take out this high and trade into this fair value gap. Right? And if we get inside of this fair value gap, that's when we can see if we're gonna hold to go higher. Hold on one second, y'all. Oh my God. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so and if we do for now, because I don't think we're ready to take out the all-time high, main target I'll look for is this previous week high that we got right here. And there's some equal highs associated with this as well. Later on, I don't think we take out this high immediately because we got to get a little more momentum in the market to get that high. But we are inside of the this fair value gap already in the 1 hour. And we just need to see if we're gonna hold it. It's okay if it dip outside of it, but as long as we don't like start getting closures outside of this, below this area, we should be okay. But I do want to start seeing us wick around this area if we're gonna actually use it to go higher. If not, that's why I'm looking for this low to get swept to come down here, and then that'll be the next best area if we want to still push up off of this. That makes sense?
It
Yes.
makes sense. Yep.
Okay. Your inverted fair value gaps, it's just a regular fair value gap that whatever the direction it was supposed to be used for, like if it was bullish
Hmm.
and it should have been bought from, it got traded through. And because it got traded through, they will usually replace that with, and they use that same area to actually buy or sell from in opposite direction. So if it was bullish and then they inverted it, they're probably going to use that to sell at some point later on. You got me?
Got you. I was gonna say, up it's upside down, but I got it.
Okay.
Wait, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Sorry.
No, no, no worries.
All right. I was just typing this up and dropping this in the chat. And the last one is my baby, yeah, S&P. This one, same pretty much setup. Same setup. Nope. So we took out this high, this previous week high. Don't need him no more over here. Oh God. But we do have this previous day high that's been sitting over here for a little while. that's going to be a higher time frame target or higher upside target. And then we have the high we made yesterday. That's the most recent upside target. And just like we mentioned before, we're inside of this 1 hour fair value gap right now. And that's more in line with what NAS was doing. We already starting to run deep into this already. It's not as deep as NAS, but it's not as shallow. It's already past the shallowness of the Dow. So you can kind of see where we're going with this, right? We do have this inverted fair value gap. We still in this technically. We've traded out of it, but this is the most prominent area right now. We have some liquidity that's been swept. We swept all of that liquidity, but we still got this low right here, and it's still sitting inside of here. Jeez Louise, man. So we already getting our 0 to 1 move as we speak to the downside. I want to see us hold around the low. Worst case scenario, we do dip into this inverted fair value gap. That's okay. But I want to see us hold. And if we hold, I want to catch my move from the upside from here. If we don't get that and we do get a fair value gap inside of this move that we use to get, and we do a 1-2 retracement, and we do decide to sell off, I still don't want to see us come outside of this daily inverted fair value gap range. We take this liquidity, we maybe take this liquidity right here, but we hold inside of here, and then we try to bounce from here. We get our new leg from here, and this start a new move to the upside from here. We do have the unemployment numbers that could factor into this, so that's why I'm looking at that. Same thing with Dow. We already pretty much got our 0 to 1 move right here through these highs. So right here. So I do want to kind of see that if we do get this 1 to 2 retracement, right, it stays inside here. And then we get our 2-3 move up higher to take out this high. So it's really the same setup that we had on Dow, just different numbers because we got the same type of parameters right now that will get us to the same point, right? Main target I'm looking for is all-time high. But if we do take out the all-time high, we got the 60-90, 69-90 area to around 7,000 on ES as being another target. So that's gonna be what I'm looking for ES. It's basically the same setup as Dow. Sorry. Basically the same setup as Dow. Um, and we got this liquidity for the downside targets. If we do buy up this target, the high we made from yesterday and this previous day high, then all-time high is the next target around at 60-90, 69-90 area being the main target. And then 7,000 being the later target if we get above that. So that's what I'm gonna look for on ES Dow, dollar, uh, and gold. So let me just put this in the chat. Let's get the link. Looking for us to hold. and or inside of the inverted fair value gap, the daily one. And looking for a buy. All right. That's yes. And just gonna open the rest of this session up for Q&A. So any questions or any, any, any thoughts or stuff like that, just let me know. It's up to you. Um, I'm always gonna try to reiterate like just certain things, right? When you are the main thing is just trying to get, you're not predicting the market, but you're just using what the market has to offer you to see where like the highest probability where price could go, right? You're not trying to predict it, right? You just trying to say, if I look at the daily chart, or if I look at the weekly chart, or I look at the hourly chart, or I look at the 4 hour chart, what's the highest probability that I'm gonna go to this area or go to that area, right? And then once I get that probability, what is the setup inside of that area that I'm looking for it to go to? Where can I get my trade set up? What's giving me the best point of view as to how I can get a trade set up, right? So if I know that I just took liquidity, if the market is going down, or the market, let's look at this one. If the market is going down from here and is going down to this bullish point of interest, right? I expect for it to bounce from here, right? Now, do I expect for it to continue higher? I don't know, right? Because maybe this area over here has its own narrative, right? But if I am going down, I am expecting for it, because I know that this is some bullish point of interest, that I should still get a bounce from here, right? So once I know that this is a probable area, right, it's on me to say, hey, when I get to this point, do I get a setup in between this leg right here, right? And then once I get to this leg right here, and I return to what's created inside of this area between this leg, which in our case, this is an order block, this orange area, and this is a fair value gap, and it's bearish, right? So if you see me do a minus in front of something, that means that it's bearish. You see me do a plus in front of something, that means it's bullish, right? So this is a bullish order block. This is a bullish fair value gap, right? This is a bullish, a bearish order block. This is a neutral. If you see me do an equal sign, that means it's neutral. That means it's inverted. So that's what that means when you see that. You see that right here. This is a bearish fair value gap, 15-minute bearish fair value gap, because I got a minus right here. So that's how usually I like to interpret that, right? NWOG, new week opening gap. NDOG, new day opening gap. That means that the price gapped open on that particular day. So
Wait, Corey, I don't see NDOG on
it's
here.
not on here.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, it's not. I
I
just
got
said
you.
it because I was talking about this one.
Got you. Thank you. Okay.
New day opening gap, new week opening gap. Okay.
Got
When
it.
I'm talking about a 0 to 1 move, that means that the zero is probably where the start of the move is.
Mm-hmm.
And the one is the extension from the start to the first time we get a retracement. The 1 to 2 is a retracement leg usually. The 2 to 3 is an expansion leg most of the time. The 3 to 4 is a retracement most of the time. And the 4 to 5 is an expansion most of the time.
That's really good.
Right. And you always, that's what those, Elliott waves, right? You got your start of the move is your zero. That's this part. Your retracement, expansion, retracement, expansion, right? Your 0, 1. 1 to 2 is your retracement. Your 2 to 3 is your expansion. Your 3 to 4 is retracement. Your 4 to 5 is expansion. Anything else, you're either in accumulation or you're in distribution. And in those particular phases, you don't necessarily want to be involved in it, the market at that point. If you are going to be involved in it, you need to be looking at lower time frames, right? Okay.
Because that would be considered a count, you would be considering that a counter trend because you're going
Um,
against the market at that time.
no, it's just sideways, probably.
So, okay.
Accumulation and distribution. Accumulation, you are just sideways. You're not, you don't have a trend.
Got you. Okay.
And so this little diagram is just like basically my main setup, right? If I'm bullish on something, if I'm bearish on something, if I'm bearish on this move down, I know that I need to have in between my 0 to 1 move, there should be an order block and a fair value gap to the downside. That's what this is. If I was bearish. And then that means that on my 1 to 2 move right here, should be looking for my sell somewhere inside of this order block and fair value gap combination. And then there should even be an inverted fair value gap over here too, but I don't have to go in that far into detail. That means that my 2 to 3 move, I should be looking to take inside of here somewhere, and I should be targeting this low, right? So my entry should be somewhere over here. My goal is to target this low, but ultimately I'm expecting it to go to the next bullish point of interest. That's the whatever this is right here, right? Then once I get there, I'm expecting the 3-4 retracement. The 3-4 retracement should take me to whatever fair value gap, order block, inverted fair value gap inside of this 2-3 leg right here. Once I get there, my 3-4 retracement should take me into that area. And that should be the move to take me to the 4-5 move, right? The 4-5 move should be aiming for this low, right? And we should be taking out this low, and we should be trading through whatever liquidity or fair value gap that we have around this area, right? And in this case, we trade from this area right here. We sold off, and then at that point, either we're going to keep expanding lower, or once we sweep our last area, we should get an order block. And if we get that order block, it's going to fake everybody out around this area where we have a fair value gap that they think is going to sell from here to go ahead and take out this low, but it doesn't. They trade through it. They should create a new fair value gap to the upside. And this should be the start of the bullish move from 0 to 1. Go higher. And then you repeat the cycle in the opposite direction. Or you accumulate and you just go sideways near this area until you're ready to go either higher or lower. Okay?
I'm following you.
Okay. Okay. All right. I am going to call it a night.
Okay.
I hope you got some value out of this.
I did.
I will put this up as soon as I can on YouTube, and I'll drop all of the setups into the chat as soon as I can as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Corey. I hope you feel better.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Corey. Have a good night, y'all.
Bye, Ari.
Oh, she in the bed. I'm just
Oh,
getting past her bedtime.
okay. All right.
All right.
Get some tea, Corey.
I drank some tea and water and some Alka-Seltzer.
Oh,
Uh,
you need some oil of oregano.
I done took everything. I got a cough drop in my mouth. I just took some chewable Alka-Seltzer Plus. I took the kind you can put in the water.
Oh man.
I just drank some tea, and I'm that's ain't nothing happened yet.
Okay.
You need some sea moss.
That's right. Tell them.
Need some,
Yeah.
Yeah.
need some.
There's
Well,
something going around. Everybody catching it.
Mhm.
really,
Mhm.
Yeah. It literally me and Ari was passing it back for like a whole month straight.
Oh wow.
yeah,
Yeah. And then some of my coworkers, my manager, my VP, everybody just getting it. My employee, everybody just getting this code. I don't know what they said it's just a code, but I think it's some type of virus that they don't want to say.
man. They did contact tracing when I was coming back from um Belize, so I
Mm.
know it ain't no way it's just the cold.
Mm,
If they doing contact tracing, you know
Something
that
going on.
there's something going on. I ain't even trying to be no conspiracy theorist, but contact tracing is definitely a sign of something is not right.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Trump probably don't want to. Oh, hold on, you got on recording. Tell me when you stop recording.
Hold on, hold on. Let me turn this off.